Okay, so this is going to be a series of videos that kind of build on each other. That way I can keep them shorter. So this one's going to go back to 2 videos before this, okay? Because I did mention that I was going to talk about why do narcissists seem like they're little children. The straightforward answer is because they are. If you've been watching videos or studying narcissistic behavior, abuse, you will clearly hear over and over and over again is that at a very young age, okay, and it's probably during the imprinting stage, which is the day you're born, 0 up until I think it's age 7. My psychology 101's it's been a long time since I've had that class, but you imprint between 0 and about 7, and approximately 6.5, 7, or 7 to about, I think it's 14. That's when you take on your social values, okay? So what happens is at a very young age, a narcissist got hurt by a parent. They abused them, yelled at them, screamed at them, terrorized them, physically beat them a lot, not just, one time. And so the narcissist, they do the opposite of what an empath does. And a narcissist makes a decision like, fuck this, I'm not going to feel feelings, especially emotions anymore, okay? Whereas an empath does it the other way around. I need to really tune in. I need to figure out what kind of mood that person is in, okay? Because it can save you a lot of pain if you're like, oh, they're pissed off, so I'm going to get the hell out of here. That's why empaths are really good. Like, they feel everything around them, and that's why it's really, really, really important for an empath to learn how to ground themselves emotionally and energetically, because now you're like, oh, this is me, and what I'm feeling is, oh, that's you. That's one of the biggest steps in narcissist an empath has to learn. So back to the narcissist. So why are they little children? I'm going to say it in a different way than probably most people. It's because, all right, I've been teaching a course that I call Cracked Female Code. Okay, I teach men how to open up to the right brain, which is technically I'm teaching them how to drop down inside and become emotionally grounded. Therefore, they let go of the thinking and the over logic like a narcissist, right? One thing I've learned over the years is a good portion of men, especially in the modern era because of money, machines, and especially because of computer technology, men just use their left brain now. So at a very young age, this is what a phrase I came up with after a quarter of a century, literally over 25 years coaching men on how to communicate better, how to connect with women on a deeper, more emotionally fulfilling and meaningful level through right brain, internal communication, etc., is men escape to their logical brain. That's the male brain. For men and women, this is the male brain, the logical brain, and the right brain is the female brain. The female brain is the emotional processor. It processes through the 5 senses: see, hear, feel, smell, and taste. Okay, now watch this. The right brain is also considered the spiritual, creative, emotional brain. So if you ever hear someone say, oh, I don't believe in that spiritual stuff, or I don't believe in anything along the lines of that, like spirit, God, Buddha, energy healing, it's because they're a very left brain person. In fact, there is a range. There's a middle, and then that's to the left. The further you go to the left, the more logical you become, the more disconnected you are from your emotions and your feelings, right? Okay, so to make it really clear, is when you go that far into your left brain, you completely disconnect from your right brain. Your right brain is the open brain. That is the brain that's tuned in, and you can feel more subtle things and notice things that are more subtle, which is the spirit world. So that's why people that are truly left brain people, they really don't believe there is a God or spirit or energy healing or anything like that at all, because they're completely disconnected from it. Right? Does that sound like a narcissist? Yeah. Whereas the right brain, when you cross over, now you're tuning into your 5 senses, your emotions, your feelings, your see, hear, feel, smell, and taste. That's why some mornings when you wake up, or some days you're just really mellow and relaxed, a song comes on, you've heard 100 times, like, wow, the song's so great, and you're really feeling it, or you're eating food, like, wow, it tastes so good. When you're in your right brain, you can really smell and taste and feel and hear and see vibrant colors and sounds, and everything becomes more amped up in a very positive way. And this is how you connect to the spirit world and energy. See, you have to be tuned in to your body, to your five senses, in order to be able to feel or sense or notice, because it is subtle. It's not like you're going to put your hand on the hot stove. You're going to notice it from about a foot away, like, oh, that's warm. But people who are totally disconnected from their feelings and the five senses, they have to touch the damn stove in order to go, oh shit, that's on high. Same thing with the spirit world. The right brain in every spiritual or energy healing I've ever taken has always been called the spiritual brain. It's the open door to spirit. Here's the deal though. Narcissists have escaped over to their left brain because they don't want to feel negative emotions. They don't want to deal with being hurt emotionally. Okay? Because they were traumatized or something bad happened to them. So what do? They go so far to the left brain, they're literally operating. See, the reptilian brain is the third brain. It's the lower brain, which is on the brain stem, okay? It's also called the reticulating activating system. It literally is like a lizard brain. It's an instinctual fight or flight brain, right? And this is why narcissists are always in competition. They see everything as a competition because they've escaped from the human brain and they're operating off of the reptilian brain. And this is why people will say, it's like they're missing something. It's like they call them empty meat bags walking around, like there's nothing inside. Well, yeah, you're right. There's no emotion, there's no spirit, there's no soul. They've disconnected from that, right? The last thing a narcissist wants to do is reconnect with their emotions and feelings. This is why, here's what they do. Now, okay, I've always buy Macintosh, Apple computers. So about 3 computers ago, I had a MacBook Pro, and the hard drive wasn't working. This is just before they started putting SSD drives in them, okay? And so they're like, no, it's a brand new computer, that's impossible. Well, this went on for a long time, right? So finally what they did was they got an external hard drive and they plugged it into it and they ran the system on this hard drive, and that's how you know, well, if it works fine on this thing, that's how you know you got a bad hard drive. It's an easy test, like, oh shit, you know your hard drive. Well, that is essentially what a narcissist is doing. They're saying, I don't want to feel pain, so they escape into their extreme left brain, which connects them through the reptilian brain. They're actually in the reptilian brain, and they're communicating through their logical brain. That's all they're doing, okay? So they don't want to feel emotions. So fine, let's say they're in their left brain and reptilian brain. They don't want to feel emotions. So what they do is, it's like they plug into you, and you're this, oh my God, your emotions are wonderful. Now watch how a narcissist got everything you hear about narcissists is how you don't have to get revenge on a narcissist because they're going to screw themselves over. They always do. Now watch this. They find someone like, oh my God, they got such wonderful emotions. I want to plug into that. Right? So now it's like an external hard drive they're plugging into. Oh, this is amazing. This is amazing. And then they mirror you. And in the beginning, that's the love bombing stage where everything feels wonderful. But then what happens is there's another factor that kicks in. It becomes the abusive parent. And then the abusive parent, it's like, man, I got to make a separate video of this because here's ultimately, I have to explain what mirroring actually is. A lot of you don't actually understand what that is. Okay? It's an unconscious thing they don't know they're doing. It's like the movie camera's back here and they're projecting onto that. Okay, forgive me, I used the wrong word. I should have said projection and projecting. But that is a form of unconscious mirroring. It's like seeing yourself in someone else. So it's like they reverse the mirroring. Now they're seeing themselves in you. Okay, whereas when they first meet you in the love bombing phase, they're trying to get you to see you in them. I don't know if that made any sense. So essentially what they're doing is the parent comes out and sees the child in you, and they begin to viciously punish you and hurt you and torture you. And that's how they screw themselves over. So now all of a sudden, the very person that they love and, oh my God, this person's so amazing, they're pushing them away, and then they're destroying the beautiful energy that the first reason they came into contact with you in the first place, and now it's just this nightmare, and eventually they're going to discard you because of that. What I'm talking about is what we call parts. We have different parts that come up at different times. So that is a subject in and of itself to understand. But basically, it's like the parent comes up, sees the child in you because of the mirroring effect, and they begin to punish you viciously. And now the other part comes back up and like, oh, what did I do? Now this person has horrible energy. I don't want to be around this person. So they disconnect from you and they discard you. That. So after the love bombing phase, the parent comes in. It's a different part and begins to punish. Now they're like, I'm the parent and you're the bad kid. And they begin to punish you. And now they feel bad emotions, and now they're mad at you, and now they don't like you. And then comes the discard phase. Okay? So essentially, that's what's going on. I probably should make another video on what mirroring is, because there's one concept of mirroring, but there's other concepts of mirroring that you have to understand to see what's going on with a narcissist, okay? So let me wrap this video up right here. So my niece said to me when she was, I think she was in 11th grade, she was, Uncle Michael? I'm like, yeah. She goes, why do men look like little boys? And it was a really interesting question from a young lady, and I had the answer, and it was, well, again, as I said in my course teaching men, a lot of men escape into, they hide behind their logic. They go into their left brain because they don't want to feel emotion. See, all right, you have to understand this. Men are born using their left brain. Men and women have a left and a right brain. This is considered the male brain, the left brain, and the right brain is considered the female brain, okay? So the female brain is the brain that processes the emotions which we feel in our body. Well, a narcissist has escaped from that and shifted all the way to the left brain. Now they're operating off of the reptilian brain, communicating through the logical processor, right? They don't want to feel. So I noticed the average male who's not that extreme is like they escape to the left brain instead of dealing with their emotions and feelings. And this is the number one problem between men and women when it comes to communicating and connecting on a deeper, more emotionally fulfilling and meaningful level. That's what my course is about, right? And so over the decades, I started realizing, like, wow, men just like, they don't want to connect with their emotions because they don't want to get hurt. Well, that's part of life. Now, here's the answer. Number one, as I've already said, he escapes into his left brain, the far left brain, and shuts that door. I don't want to deal with that, right? The emotions. An adult is someone who learns how to deal with their emotions. That is the missing factor. And that's why narcissists come across as little children, because remember, the imprinting stage, you just imprint off your parents and your family members. You see them and you imprint, right? But you begin to take on your social values and your relationship values, social skills, relationship skills between 7 and 14. Well, they've already disconnected from their emotional system, so they don't do that. This is why narcissists come across as extremely creepy. Like there's something wrong with them. They have to memorize everything. They have to read a book on, well, how do I do social behavior? They have to, it's like, it's everything, here's what they're doing. They're in their left brain looking at everything from the left brain. The left brain is about business, math, and science, right? For both men and women. A lot of people are like, so you're saying men are only left brain and women are only right? No. Women actually have more nerves in the corpus callosum. It's a bundle of nerves that connects the two brains. So they can go left and right just like that. Whereas a man, you got to meditate and pray, acupuncture, artwork, music, singing for about 15, 20 minutes. That'll open you up to your right brain. Any kind of right brain artistic work will slowly bring a male over to his right brain. This is why when a woman switches over to right brain, she's like, come on, keep up. I've changed pages. And he's over in his left brain going, what are you talking about? Change pages. Okay? He doesn't understand that because he's still in his left brain, right? And I know right now a lot of women are going, nope, that's true. So let's get back to the narcissist. So what I was saying is they never learn, okay, I know. So the left brain is a math, business, and science. It's very good at analyze. It's the scientific analytical brain. It is the analytical brain. The right brain is the social brain. It's the relationship brain. You should be in your right brain when you're dealing with other human beings, which is what we do most of the time. Unless you have an extremely logical job, even most business jobs are very right brain because it's all about interacting socially with people. There's a balance between left and right, which most men in the modern era don't really have. The men who succeed do, okay? So that's why when you're dealing with a narcissist, they're like little boys, they're like little children. Okay, this is going to lead into the next one, but this is also why they compete with everything, because the lower reptilian brain is that lizard brain. And remember, it's like they're looking down a tube. And I say this to women all the time. Have you ever noticed how men, it's like they have blinders up and they only see what's right in front of them? And women will giggle and laugh like, say, yeah, because you can kind of manipulate them and you can go around that blind spot and they can't see, right? And one of the main things I teach in my course for men is how to open up and go wider and wider and then drop down and connect with your five senses, with your body, all right? So what happens is it's literally like a lizard. Lizard A sees a bug. Lizard B sees a bug, and they're both locked on, and they don't realize it, but there's 100 bugs here and 100 bugs here, but they only see that one bug, and they look up, and they look down, they look at the bug, look at the lizard, and it's like, well, we have to fight. I must kill you in order to get this bug.
Now remember, this is a very instinctual, animalistic, reptilian thing. This is like a life and death thing to them. Everything. So that's why they will do anything to win. The belief is, I must win and you must lose at all costs. I will lie, cheat, and steal because this is a life or death situation according to their reptilian brain, even when it's not, which is why this is so messed up.
And this is why narcissists compete in everything. Every conversation is an argument. Every conversation is a disagreement. Even here, the funny thing is, even if 5 minutes before they were totally agreeing with that, well, if you start to agree, they're like, well, I've got to take the other side. It's not even a conscious thing. It's not conscious at all. It is the reptilian brain that is operating, and there's no consciousness there at all. Consciousness is a right brain function. Technically, consciousness is when all three of the brains are awake and they're operating fully and completely. But most humans don't walk around like that. Most human beings walk around literally in the reptilian brain. And women tend to connect to the right brain with the reptilian. Men tend to connect with the left brain. Consciousness is when you open up to the larger human hemispheres, which is the left and the right brain, okay? This is what I've been teaching men in my courses for over 25 years, okay? So this is why men come across like little boys. It's not just men. It could be a woman. I'm sorry. If I've been saying men this whole time, I'm so sorry. It's not just men. It's just that I've dealt with men in my courses for a long, long time. And I've heard women for decades go, why are they like little boys? Like, why do they argue about every little thing and every little this? Well, a narcissist is an extreme version of that. Plus, they have an intention of, I'm going to beat you down. Not every man does that, okay? That's the difference between a narcissist and a male who's just stuck in his left brain. I'm going to give you one little clue. Here's how you can tell when a person, male or female, is in their left brain. They get very angular, tight, because when you go to your logical brain, you're thinking, and everything is, and the muscles become tight. Your face becomes tight, and everything becomes angular, right? And the pupils get small, and they come together like they're targeting you. And that's the look you guys keep talking about. When the pupils are small, they come together, and that's how I can tell how far they are in their left brain. They walk mechanically, and everything is mechanical. They're like machines, right? The average man goes through this on a daily basis, but they generally tend to open to the right brain's moments throughout the day. A narcissist, for the most part, will never open up to the right brain. And if they do, like, oh, fuck that. And they escape out of it and go right back into the left brain, all right? So when the pupils dilate, get a little bit bigger, and they pull open, now you're seeing the bigger picture. It softens your skin and your voice becomes more resonant, and you tend to breathe deeper, and it becomes resonant in a natural way, not the fake way when men try to act like they're resonating their voice. That's mechanical, that's analytical, that's forced. And here's the other thing. Everything starts becoming natural. The right brain is the natural brain. The left brain is the mechanical brain. Hey, this is Mike Colleen at MikeColleen.com. I hope that helped answer the question of, number one, why men, or It's both men and women. Why they look like and or act like little children. Number two, why they argue so much. I'm going to do another video on arguing, and now that you know this will help you just go right into that one. Hey, this is Mike Colleen at MikeColleen.com. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.